Today I'd like to invite you to come along with me on a Sunday afternoon up on Haleakala. It's a great day to come up and see the beautiful scenery and enjoy the weather, so come on for a ride. This particular section, here at about 4,000 feet elevation as we continue up, is an area of eucalyptus trees of the Haleakala Ranch property. These eucalyptus trees were brought in many years ago as part of an experiment to see which trees would grow well, and these have done very well. As you can see, it's a very thick patch of forest. Now we've crossed the cattle guard and entering the open ranch land. Oftentimes there is cattle roaming in this area. From this lookout at 5,000 feet, you can see other islands, Ka'olawe, West Maui there, Lanai off in the distance, and Molokai, and of course the blue sky above. Continuing further up, the windy Haleakala Road will take us through many different climate areas. As we continue up, you will see different kinds of plants on the side of the road. These are the native Hawaiian plants, which we will see more a little later on, but it gives you an idea of what the natural landscape must have been long ago. This windy road first was a horse path, and then in the early 1900s the U.S. military used it and expanded it to get up to the top of Haleakala to use as a radio transmission and radar tower. And now it's used by us to enter the Haleakala National Park. This whole area is a very large preserve for nature's sake. They've been taking care of things, getting rid of the feral animals such as the cattle, the goats, the pigs. They're working hard to get rid of mongoose and feral cats and restore it to its natural pristine condition. And this is the toll booth right here that you must go through. First into the park, immediately on the left, there's a place known as Hosmer's Grove. This Hosmer's Grove, named after a person, Mr. Ralph Hosmer, planted many trees as part of his experiments to see which types of trees would grow good in this area. Now there are many beautiful trails to hike around among the non-native trees and the native as well. As you walk through this area, plants like pu'ukiawe and this ohelo flower are all native Hawaiian plants that existed here long before man ever came here. As we wind through the trail, we will see birds, the iiwi bird there. We will also see other birds called the apapane, and the amakihi bird as well will be visible to us on this trail. This is their native habitat, and they fly all around and constantly chirp and sing songs as they go. This large valley here, the headwaters of the Waikamoi Forest. You can see native and non-native as well. And looking up from the non-native trees, you see that most of this alpine scrub brush is not really very tall. It's quite short really, and this is the scene as we continue up further, out of the Hosmer's Grove area, back up towards the top. One of the first places we will come to after Hosmer's Grove is the ranger station here at 7,000 feet. It's a good place to stop, get directions, maybe use the restroom, ask information of the park staff inside. They've got a great garden out in front highlighting some of the native plants growing in this area, including the very rare Haleakala silver sword. This plant only exists on Haleakala. It lives its life in the ground like you see, finally blooms once, and then it dies. As we continue up, there's a number of stops that we can go to hike at. This one, they're known as Halema'u, is a great stopping spot. And about a 2-mile hike will take you into the side areas of the larger crater, which we'll see in a moment. You can see there's trail information there and a map, and signs leading onto the areas which will take you into the backcountry of the Haleakala National Park area. Many miles to the far places inside this area. this place further up, Lele'iwi, is almost at 9,000 feet. It's another great spot to take a good short hike where you can see the crater from the side rim. Once up to the railing, you can see into the large Haleakala crater, see the clouds, see the large erosion valleys on the other side, see a good panorama of the sky around from above the clouds and the blue sky above, and into the Haleakala crater with cinder heads from previous eruptions are visible, and they look so small from this distance, yet truly they are huge. Here's the crater floor, some 2,000 feet below. Finally, we come to the summit at 10,000 feet above sea level. This place, Haleakala, known as the House of the Sun in Hawaiian, has a lot of legends to it, but up here at the top it's rather isolated, with these brilliant silver sword plants growing, the very rare ones, and then the viewpoints from the top there, the roundhouse. Up these final stairs will take you to the total summit of the mountain, and this nice roundhouse, which has been here for many years, creates a great shelter to go into to protect yourself from the elements. Looking around, you can see some of the other islands, in this case the Big Island with the 14,000 foot Mauna Kea and Mauna Loa off in the distance, the Science City observatories run by the Air Force. Inside this roundhouse, there's really not much, but it does protect you with the glass walls and some display placards telling you about the areas that you're seeing around you. And one of the grand things we've come up here to see is the Haleakala crater, this large formation here with various cinder heads inside, large erosional craters on the other side there, different colors of red and brown, and of course the view off into eternity, the high cirrus clouds, and we're above the lower cumulus clouds, so you can see off into space and see forever. So thanks for coming up to the top of the mountain with me, to the House of the Sun, Haleakala.